Hello YouTube, my name is Sly. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this reaction. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, here we go. I like Nuke. But I haven't seen this one yet. It's one of the older videos, but I haven't seen. It's called 10 Scary Videos of Ghosts. It's Nuke Top 5. And away we go.
Factory worker Kama Kaylee recently moved from his home country of Greenland to live and work in Denmark. But little did he know that the apartment he moved into had a horribly dark past. 7 years ago, a 49-year-old man was brutally attacked and lost his life right outside the apartment's front door.
That's terrible.
After Kama moves in, he begins to notice his things moving and falling to the floor for no reason. He hears the creepy sound of someone knocking on his door, and doors inside the apartment slam shut for no reason. One afternoon, Kama hears strange sounds coming from somewhere inside his apartment. He pulls out his phone and starts to record as he tries to find the source of the odd noises. But then, this happens.
You know, I like paranormal stuff, right? But I kind of wish how he scared himself. I just realized that. Oh my god, he scared himself so much he farted. Oh my god. I didn't see that till just a bit. Oh my god. Anyway, what I was saying, right, was I wish that they wouldn't turn the camera on themselves right when something happens. Alright, with something like that, you like want to see what it is, not just hear it. I think your problem is guy Dash. Sorry.
To the super organizers and the running out of tapers.
Sorry about that, guys.
Breathe easy. There's space for you here.
Have you ever had a pretzel? No,
I'm
you
on.
haven't. Until you've had a pretzel from pretzels.com. You think...
There we go. Why did you blur out his power cord? That was weird. Yeah, I know them. I really need to get YouTube Premium so don't have to worry about those ads. You know. Oh.
Kama gets a good jump scare as a door slams shut right in front of him. And it seems to literally scare a fart right out of him. But now, this is where the fun ends and things start to get really
Good old fart humor, am I
because
right?
another day, not long after sunset, the eerie activity in the apartment
Let's check real
starts
quick.
up once
Oh.
again. Now, Kama is a bit scared, but once again, he takes out his phone to try to record proof of the
Hey.
creepy activity in his apartment. What happens next
Oh.
is truly creepy.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's just if I'm gonna be streaming videos and stuff, I actually kind of want to support the platform I'm gonna be using. You know, it's just a courtesy thing on my part. Oh, that was neat. You see that open up? Kinda wish I had a full figure frame though, that'd be even better. Dun dun dun. miss something? Oh.
A cupboard door opens by itself and Kama's helmet slides across the floor.
Now, the problem with these, I love paranormal stuff, right? The problem with these is that there's so many fake things out there. It's hard to tell which ones are fake and which ones are real. Sometimes there's stuff on here that are so weird, it's kind of hard to explain. That's what I'm really looking for with these.
Later that night, Kama decides to live stream from his apartment. He says that he's having trouble sleeping because he keeps hearing things moving and falling to the floor over in the next room. What happens next, live on camera, is downright chilling.
Right. Not seem too worried about that noise, does he? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna hammer right behind him now, right? Oh, maybe not. See, I wish you wouldn't be on his face. A lot of stuff's going on. Or because you can't. Well, something like that, you can't tell if it's really happening or if there's someone else making that noise while he's just recording his face, you know? Then if that stuff's really happening, I feel sorry for the guy, right? But as far as the video goes, at least that part of it, and I gotta say that I don't really believe that part. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Something happened. So I haven't seen the scary crap out of them. I don't know what it was. I missed it. It happened so quick, I missed it. I think that was the reflection I was saying. Was I wrong? Now we're saying, I guess. And there was his reflection, he's acting up, but I don't know. Maybe Nick will go back and get a better look at it.
Caught live on stream, Kama hears the sounds of his belongings falling to the floor in the other room. But when he goes to investigate, the drawers of a small cupboard slide open on their...
Oh, that was neat to see it. I'm not very good at this fire thing yet. Hopefully I get it.
Caught live on stream, Kama hears the sounds of his belongings falling to the floor in the other room. But when he goes to investigate, the drawers of a small cupboard slide open.
Alright, there it was.
The drawers of a small cupboard slide.
Alright, with something like this is neat. It can be compelling, right? But with what we've seen so far, with all the noise and stuff, who's to say someone's not standing over here, out of frame, with some, what do they call it, like a monofilament wire? Like, really hard to see on a camera. Right, exactly. You know, I like to point stuff like that out, right? Stuff that can be explained. If it's real, that's great. But if it can be explained, I like to point that stuff out. That's why I think, with what we've seen so far, I believe there's somebody over here with some strength. And he's just acting for the camera. That's what I think, personally.
Slide open on their own. Kama's had enough and runs down the stairs and out of the building. But when he looks up at his apartment window, he is shocked to see someone or something standing.
Yeah, see what that could be his accomplice right there. Now we're seeing now. The one that was making all the noise and possibly pulled the doors out.
inside his apartment, seemingly looking right down at him. So, with everything that has happened, could Kama's apartment actually be haunted by the restless ghost of the man whose life was taken there? Let me know what
I'm
you
trying
think.
to find that diamond in the rough.
Just
When I
a
watch
quick
these
side
videos
note,
like
the
this,
Greenlandic is only
I try to find that diamond in the rough that can't be explained. That's what I'm looking for. Because I personally have seen a couple things that I couldn't quite explain. You know, that's what got me interested in stuff like this when I was younger. But I wanted to see if people had similar experiences. That was all the fake that goes on out there for clicks. It's hard to tell sometimes.
spoken by around 57,000 people in the entire world. So a huge thank you to Nuke's Top 5 viewer Wilhelm for translating Nuke's Top 5 viewer videos.
I love your videos.
Nuke's Top 5 viewer Natalie Hintz is taking a few iPhone Live photos of her sister-in-law and niece at a scenic lookout in Utah, when suddenly she notices something very odd.
Lads again. Alright. Oh, bicycle. Go with the bicycle. Whoa! See that? That was neat. You know, that is compelling. Awesome. But that is compelling. But don't think I would take down from that, right? Because that is really compelling. Could there have been somebody that, because they're on a hill, could somebody have rode it down the hill like that? But on the positive side, this could be something, right? It's odd for a bicycle to stay straight like that for as long as it is, you know what I mean? They tend to teeter-totter whenever you do stuff like that. They didn't even notice it. Look at that. Oh, crap.
When Natalie watches the live photos back, she notices a bicycle riding by at an
Okay, that's going all the way across there. Right? No way I stopped it. It looks like double image, but that was neat. Right? It goes for as long as it did. Right. Motorized bicycle, definitely. But they won't stay up on the sills like this forever without something like tranny wheels or something like that. It is neat. That way that can be faked as if somebody did that after the video was made, like post-editing. But for what it is, that is really neat to look at.
an alarming speed in the background, all on its own. There's no rider, and there's no one chasing the runaway bike.
Yeah, it goes all the way across the screen. It starts over here, behind the hill, it goes all the way across the stream. I like that one. That was neat.
Viewer Stephen Figueroa says that he's been experiencing paranormal events since he was 3 years old. He says that he has even seen full-bodied shadow apparitions in his home. So back in 2013, when Stephen was 18 years old, he says that he was finally...
No, stuff like this, I feel sorry for a kid and stuff like that happen. A lot of these ghost hunting shows, right? Typically, a real haunting is like a slow burn, right? They have to slowly over time and it keeps building and building and building. That's why when somebody new shows up, a lot of times things will happen. And you'll find that in like the more legit ghost shows, right? They'll stay for more than one day. They'll try to stay for like 2 or 3. Like the Foreman brothers. I think the Foreman brothers are neat. Oh, alright, let's go back then. Yeah. I don't know problem with that. Right here, you think? Yeah, see, the bite pops up from where this hill's at. We can't see down here, right? But the bite pops up from behind this hill and goes straight across. So what's your theory, Venom? I'd be here. Anything to help me understand the video or other possibilities that could be? Definitely an interesting video. I should go back and watch it over again. How about that?
Nuke's Top 5 viewer Natalie Hintz is
I won't
taking a
pause
few
it this
iPhone
time so
Live
we can take
photos
in
of
the
her
full thing.
sister-in-law and niece at a scenic lookout in Utah, when suddenly she notices something very odd.
It's a beautiful look of scenery, though. Alright, they're just done it. Right, I know I said I wouldn't pause, but they had a very good still image of the bike.
Utah, when suddenly she notices something very odd.
Yeah, look at that. Look how that's a nice still image of that bike that was going across. Possible that there is like a small ditch that was dug there, so the bike is. Oh, right. I hadn't thought about that. That's interesting. Thanks for your input, Venom. Right. Because we can't see where the bike actually originated from. We only see it when it comes out from behind that hill. When you see it go straight across. Thanks for the input, Venom. I love it. Like I said, I know I said I wouldn't pause, but I wanted to look at the bike in the still frame. Alright, here we go. Boom. See, what's interesting to me on this one, right?
When
Is
Natalie
that
watches
that got a recording, okay? Now, here's what makes me think it might be fake. Alright, now unless you didn't notice it. But the guy recording is recording his old lady and kid, right? And that bike was right behind him. And he didn't notice it. Well, something like that, you think you might notice it, but then again, if you're hyper focused on what's going on, you could miss it, I guess. It's just a theory.
the live photos back, she notices a bicycle riding by at
sister
an
and niece?
alarming speed
Alright, I
in the
missed that then.
background, all on its own. There's no rider, and there's no one chasing the runaway bike. Natalie says she is creeped out by the strange photos.
But as fast as going, it almost has to be, if it's
Viewer
fake, it has to
Stephen
be an
Figueroa
electric
says that
bike.
he's been experiencing paranormal events since he was 3 years old. He says that he has even seen full-bodied shadow apparitions in his home. So back in 2013, when Stephen was 18 years old, he says that he was finally able to capture proof of what he's been experiencing. But it's a bit potato because all he had to record back then was his iPod Touch.
Okay. Oh, that is potato.
Notice that the
Okay.
trash can first tips slightly forward, then moves back, then crashes over onto the floor. A few bags and suitcases fall over as well for no apparent reason. Cut to 2017, and Stephen has now upgraded his video with a new phone.
Okay, on that last one, right, given the gray footage of the video, we can't really tell a whole lot. Or you see stuff fall over. It could be, like, what is this? It fell. Or it could actually be what it says it is. Or it could just be they sent it up that much. Oh, you have? Nice. Oh, no, I don't mean it that way, man. No. It's great you caught something like that in with your own eyes, right? I've never seen, well, I take that back. One of the paranormal experiences that I've seen that made me believe in this stuff was, it was as a high school party. Okay, and I was drunk. We all were. High school kids being stupid. And one of the girls brought over a Ouija board. We thought it'd be fun to play around with the Ouija board, right? It was all fun and games until every time I went to close the board, it would open itself back up again. Nobody was touching it, it would open itself back up again. Alright? And we finally just got it fed up and just put it back in the box. And then the lights went out. And then behind the couch, one of those hurricane oil lamps, the top of it shot up. Yeah, it was awesome. It was scary as hell, but it was awesome to see when I see back on it. And somehow somebody caught it where it fell and broke. But that was probably one of the most interesting things I've ever seen. So never mess with the Luigi board. You know what I mean? You never know with those. Oh.
When he hears a strange rattling noise coming from the hallway outside his bedroom, he once again decides to try to record some proof of his paranormal.
Well, the one that really saw me before that even happened was I was in my mom's basement. My mom has always been afraid of her basement, right? I was down there trying to light her furnace board because the furnace went out. We couldn't get it lit. I finally got it lit. All right. I was getting ready to head back upstairs and I heard something. I turned around. And you know how a lot of those stories people talk about like a dark mist or something like that or white mist? I saw something like that, but it was red. I'm not afraid of it. That scared the shit out of me. I ran up the stairs faster than shit.
Normal experiences. And this is when things start to get really.
Now, I don't know if it was paranormal or if it was just like something to do with the furnace because the one the white and purpley. I don't know. I really don't. But it does scare me. That's all I do know about it, that one.
Weird.
Okay, I've got it. Hey, what do you say at the end of the hall?
A picture frame on the wall violently moves and raises up, almost as if it's trying to fly right off the wall. Since
that was interesting. Because it's such a narrow hallway, you can't really pull a string across the hallway to make it do that. And I didn't see a hole behind it and make something poke out behind it, push it forward. That was a little more convincing. Except for this. Right? It's like they're waiting for it to happen, you know? You just standing there, it's like they're waiting for something to happen. Now, let's say happen before they decide to capture it.
This video, Steven says that his grandmother cleansed and saged their home. And for the last 6 years, he's happy to report he's never had another paranormal experience. This next creepy video was sent in by Nuke's Top 5 viewer, Paulus Helander. In his email, Paulus says that his brother was home all alone one night at their farm in Finland. Out the window, he notices that the light in the barn has mysteriously...
Oh, yeah, I've heard about, not too very particular, but I've heard about stuff like that. There was, you ever watched the Y-Files? Oh, really? You think so, Spike? And thank you for, showing up. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Do you really think the, that on the wall was, what was doing it? It could be, could be. I always try to find something logical with these videos, right? But, Venom, if, I don't know if you ever watched the White Files, but it's basically a channel on conspiracies. He talks about one time about being visited by like a hag. It's a creepy story here, that's for sure, but it is what it is. But thank you for input, Spike. I never thought it was that way before, about the nail itself being what was causing that. Thanks for the input, I love it.
Turned on. Paulus says that this strange event has happened many times, but no one in his family can figure out why. Now the farm is in the middle of nowhere, and the man is all alone. But nevertheless, he gathers his courage and goes out to turn off the light. He films the barn as he searches for any explanation as to why the light turned on. What happens next is downright creepy.
What is it? Let's go. Alright, you ready, guys? I know you can see it. Okay. Turn the light on.
Did you see it? A
No,
pale,
what was it?
undefined face can be seen staring in through the
I don't think that's paranormal. I think that's just somebody who's trespassing on this farm. You know what I mean? It could be somebody who's like trying to squat in his barn or something.
window of the barn, seemingly watching the man before disappearing into the night. Thankfully, whatever it was seems to have scurried off.
That's one thing about like especially with like the urban explorer videos, right? People are far more scared than paranormal stuff.
And the man returned home unharmed. But what do you think this is? Is it something paranormal, or perhaps something even more terrifying?
I think it's somebody
a
trying
real
to squat
person
in the farm.
stalking around the farm in the middle of nowhere in the
Yeah,
dead of
probably.
night.
Yeah, I'm with you there, dude. I'm with you on
Hanako-san.
that one.
A group of friends at a high school in Japan hear crying coming from the restroom during their lunch break. Now in
Okay.
Japan, there is a famous legend of a girl named Hanako-san. This young girl
What if it with Japan and their creepy ghost girl things? Know what I mean? It's like, I know each kind of Pacific culture has like something different. You got the Jin in the Middle East, I think it is. And then you got Japanese that likes their ghost girls. Let's jump
spirit
that.
is said to haunt restrooms in schools across Japan.
Okay.
The group moves in, all of them a bit hesitant to investigate the source of the creepy sound.
Does that mean or I get like the rundown of Toilet Bound? What was your name? Is it anime? You know what I'm talking about? About like a ghost who's stuck in a toilet or something like that.
Needless to say, it did not go well.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Now, one of them could push open that door on their way out, right? Yeah, okay. I think that was added afterwards. That's just for a jump scare, I believe. It almost got me. I'll admit, that almost got me a good jump scare.
The girls are just about to leave until they suddenly hear a loud bang and go back for a look. The horrifying, distorted face of a young girl can be seen inside one of the restroom stalls. The group
Yeah, it did look quite a weird face. Now one come back and there it is. Come on. Not good working out. Sorry, sorry. Damn it. Alright. Yeah, alright, this is kind of a weird looking face. But if that was added after the fact, you can add pretty much anything you wanted to there. Right. That could be it too, very much so. But I don't think that's paranormal though. I think that's just them playing around.
The girls are just about to leave until they suddenly hear a loud bang and go back for a look. The horrifying, distorted face of a young girl can be seen inside one of the restroom stalls. The group runs in fear, and the video cuts. Now, unfortunately, there's no source to be found for this video. It appeared on the internet as mysteriously as the Japanese legend.
No, I said that's just somebody having fun. I think all that is.
So did the girls capture evidence of Hanako-san? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide.
Not very elaborate, I wouldn't say.
The 6-year seal.
Uh-huh.
A girl says that she lives in a spooky house that was built in the early 1800s. She says that as long as she can remember, strange, unexplained things have happened around the home, including odd noises and creepy, unexplained footsteps in the middle of the night. Tragically, the girl's mother passed away inside the house under mysterious circumstances. Soon after, the girl's granddad became convinced that there was something evil inside the home. For unknown reasons, her granddad sealed his bedroom shut, hid the key, and left the house, never to return. The old man's room remained locked off for the next 6 years. Then
Okay. Now, I don't see them leaving their room sealed up like that for 6 years. I really don't. Maybe they did, who's really to say?
suddenly, one day the key to the room was found just lying in the open on the living room table, with
That's
no explanation as to how it got there. One night, the girl and her friends decide to explore the allegedly haunted house, using a spirit box in hopes of getting some kind of answer from the other side. And that's when things take a very unexpected turn.
Okay, that's it. Nuke. Call up on that one. Yeah. Oh,
The
look, I was jump
sister is
scared.
unaware of what's going on and simply steps out of the shower to go to her room. The group thinks it's a ghost and freaks the out. But things are about to take a much more sinister turn as the three friends finally decide to unlock and explore her granddad's 6-year sealed bedroom.
It was just a
All right, so what we got in here, shall we?
bedroom.
All right. Now this reel is fully sealed for 6 years, right? But look at the vibrant colors. There's no layer of dust on that. If that room was really sealed for 6 years, there'd be a layer of dust over everything. There'd be dust on the jacket. There'd be dust on the box. Right? But, yeah.
Are you going in? No, I'm getting a bad feeling.
Yeah, look how dust free it is. And even when they tell me more, you can see better. There's absolutely no dust in there.
I don't feel good. No, I don't.
I just got so lightheaded.
That?
I just got. I just got so lightheaded. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I got lightheaded as soon as I walked in here.
This kid's being kids in
You
this
are
one.
not welcome here.
Oh, my head's itching. I
If
think
there's
there's
any
lights
spirits
in here.
leave. You are not welcome.
Yeah,
Why is Santa Claus locked up?
That thing's creepy.
Why, Santa? Why are you locked up?
the last paranormal activity was weird. I was sitting in my bed. I felt a weird pressure over me. Like being tickled. I woke up, and what I thought was my brother, but it was dark. Ooh. It was, man, it looked like the clock was 2 a.m. Oh, that's scary. I'm glad nothing happened to you, Venom. I'm sure those scary friends, I'm glad nothing happened to you. Close to the witching hour, you know that 3 a.m. is considered a witching hour? Pretty close to it. That's an interesting story, Venom. Yeah. I'm just glad nothing bad really happened to you.
It could be an object in here.
Yeah.
Did your grandpa ever think about that? Like, it could be an object. You could just burn the whole room. What are you doing in the closet, dude?
Oh, my back's burning.
Is it really?
My back's
Do you have
burning.
stretch marks in it? I don't know. Oh my god.
You're right. Either one of them could have done that. And I've seen a lot of scratches in these videos before, right? I wouldn't so much call that a scratch. It looked like somebody rubbed their hands down hard, kind of like leaving like a run burn on their back. That could be called by any one of them at any point in time. And they waited for it to whelp up before they showed it. I think that's what that is right there.
You're kidding.
Stop.
No, get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Scratch marks up your back.
Stop.
No, you do.
Stop, you're giving me anxiety.
Oh my
Show it.
f***ing god.
You're kidding, right?
Alright. Yeah, see, look at that. Those aren't real scratches. It's like, what did I say? It's like a rug burn tonight. He used public pants anyway. Don't want to see his underwear. But yeah. Right, right. I think what they have is like a sage stick. And it's supposed to be for cleansing unwanted entities or evil spirits. But at the same time, if you don't know what you're doing with stuff like that, and you do have a paranormal thing going on, it can actually make it worse.
You're kidding.
The girls are shocked as their friend seems to get scratched by something inside the room.
It took us like 5 minutes to unlock that door. Like it wouldn't open. We went in and immediately I felt lightheaded. Didn't you say you
Like
didn't
that to
feel
me.
Alexis.
Yeah, immediately I felt lightheaded and I was like, okay. But okay, weird. But I was just trying to like play it off, you know, like it's not real. He said that his back was burning, and as a joke, I was like, oh, imagine if he had scratch marks. And then he had them. And in the video, you obviously can see there was no one near him.
After this terrifying ordeal, the group believes some
I just thought of something funny, right? Have you ever been with somebody, guys, right, and been scratched? Because they're always lower back. Maybe one of them's his girlfriend. I like a little scratch, a little nibbling, a little play biting. What'd you say?
something is very wrong inside that house. They say that they plan on just staying out of that bedroom. But what do you think is going on here? Could there be a dark entity linked to that bedroom? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax?
Dark energy, no. I think that wasn't dark energy. I think that was a different kind of teenage energy going on there.
You decide. Lost Soul.
Oh,
In
where we go,
Michoacan,
Lost Soul.
Mexico, a photographer named Paco is waiting in his studio.
Now, some of the weirdest videos come out in Mexico. Oh, what this is gonna be like?
For his friend Eduardo to arrive to work on a project. Paco suddenly hears his friend Eduardo outside his open window, talking loudly to someone on the street. Paco checks his security camera to see what's going on. And, just watch.
Now, leaves that fight really interesting, right? The security camera footage. That's my biggest question on something like this, right? Why are they always recording that camera footage with another camera? Do you think watching the raw footage would be better for this? Because if they're doctoring the security camera footage, right? Using software to erase somebody from there? Yeah, exactly, Venom, right. Because if they're using software to erase somebody, they know what you see in that software running in the background, so they do it like this. I know it says live view, right? But they're on playback right here. The playback's highlighted, not live view. So, yeah. But, yeah, a nice rig there.
Güey, te juro por Dios, güey. Te lo juro por Dios que un señor me preguntó qué onda era la pinera. Te lo juro por Dios, güey. Un señor se me acercó y me preguntó, oiga, disculpe, ¿dónde es la pinera? Y por eso le explico, le digo que tenía que cruzar y darle más para abajo, güey, te lo juro. Te lo juro, güey, no mames.
Eduardo swears that a man was asking him for directions, but the security footage shows no one there. Just an odd white mist.
All right.
So did
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting, but that doesn't really prove anything. Because a little wisp of fog and stuff can pop up, just like slight temperature changes. I will say, even if it's fake, it's still interesting to look at, right? Watching somebody talk to the invisible man, basically.
Eduardo have a conversation with a ghost or a brief mental breakdown? Because he seems convinced. So let me know what you think. Alice Attic. Amateur paranormal investigator Phil Koch has been posting strange captures from his supernatural explorations for 15 years on YouTube.
The hell was that? Wait. Gotta get the camera.
Something fell, I think.
Okay, something just crashed right next to us.
In fact, I featured Phil's videos on this channel many years ago.
I didn't get left to watch that, did you? Sure, Nick will come back and highlight the turtle first.
Something just moved behind me.
Oh,
Now,
sure
on this
did.
particular night, Phil and his teenage son are performing a paranormal investigation in the attic of a
The only problem with that theater chair they showed there, alright, again, the whole chair wasn't in scene. Could have somebody at the edge of it, moving up and down like that.
an allegedly haunted house in West Allis, Wisconsin, and things get weird.
On the floor. So.
56? 70? Between.
Without them knowing, a voice seems to whisper, "Go outside."
7.
Now that's interesting.
But what happens next shocks them to their core.
MVP is always interesting.
And I think that it was about an hour since we heard those footsteps coming through here, but I don't know what that was from. What's our average temperature?
It's about 37, 38.
That's why I'm cold. And I'm getting like a 0.2 all the way through the room.
Wait, it's going to 45. There's 50. Oh, I got a 50.
I got a reading here. Okay.
Hey, what did the camera look like? Oh, that was interesting. Right? That could have been something. I'm not gonna say it is or was it. I'll just say that was interesting. And we know these two are here. We don't know if there's anyone else here or not. But I almost kind of believe the reaction to that one. Almost. Still a little iffy on it, but maybe we'll find out more.
Phil and his son have had enough. They just run right out of the attic. But when Phil uploads the video, many viewers claim that they can actually see something sitting in the chair that slides out. But what do you think?
I don't know. That was so zoomed in, the video was so grainy, it was hard to tell if there was something sitting in there. I couldn't what to see, there's something behind the chair.
Wandering patient. This next video takes place in an allegedly haunted hospital. Now, the story goes that the spirit of a little girl who passed away still
hospital, graveyards, and schools. For some reason, it seems to be the three things people post paranormal about.
Wanders the hospital halls, unable to move on. Down in the hospital cafeteria, the staff working the late night shift experience something that makes their blood run cold.
Oh, that's neat.
Ay, no, no van a estar asustando. Yo quiero llorar.
Está grabando.
¿Está grabando?
I know hospitals have buttons to open doors and stuff. Can it be shown that far away like that? Hey, it's interesting though.
Ya deja de jugar, niña.
Ay, no, Dani, ya había miedo.
Pequeña,
No mames, no mames, no.
pequeña, que estamos jugando, ven acá.
Ya se fue para allá. Se abrieron las de allá.
Se abrieron las dos.
Ya se salió, a lo mejor. Ay, no.
Ay, no, no.
Nunca me asusto,
no, ya,
pero ahora,
ya
mire.
tengo el harto miedo ya.
Nunca me asusto. Y ahora.
Ay, no mames, no, no, ya.
¿Qué necesitas, pequeña? ¿Eh?
No.
¿Ocupas algo?
Ay, no.
Pequeña, ¿ya prendió la luz?
Ay, ya había miedo.
Now, the hospital night staff all know the creepy story of the little ghost that supposedly wanders the hospital. So they watch in terror as the cafeteria.
I don't want to burn down your house. You didn't burn it too bad, did you, Vivian? You said you'd turn wasted pizza. I hope it's alright.
Gates and automatic door open and close on their own, almost as if someone is walking there. But as the doors close, a small dark figure can be seen walking by the doors on the other side.
Oh, that was neat.
But whatever it is, it somehow just doesn't trigger the automatic doors.
Well, at least one in a total loss. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. I need to go to the script topping off and make sandwich with it. It's such a waste of a good pizza. Heh.
So could the stories be true? And is the hospital indeed haunted by the spirit of a little girl? I leave
don't
that
know.
up to
Like
you
I said,
to decide.
They got buttons that control the doors in hospitals and stuff. Right? Now, the one thing that is really interesting was that dark skull shell that was back here. It ran across. Well, that could have been just a kid playing with buttons, too. Who knows?
The Madison Seminary. Two teams of paranormal investigators decide to explore the allegedly haunted Madison Seminary
I
in
hate it,
Madison,
Venom.
Ohio. Madison
I
Seminary
have
was
to be
built in
checked once in a while
1847,
because of my
and over
blood
the
sugar
years, the
levels.
building has been used as
I
a
don't have
school,
diabetes.
hospital,
Not
mental
yet.
asylum, and even as housing for the grieving families of men who died in the Civil War. With a long, dark history like that, it's no surprise that many ghosts are said to haunt its abandoned halls. So one spirit in particular is said to be that of a very unfriendly doctor who tries to frighten and physically attack anyone who visits Madison Seminary.
Wow.
Now, the team of paranormal
What are
investigators
you
has
doing
just
this time?
started to explore the building when investigator Mandy notices something very odd.
You're super red.
What? Am I gonna die?
What?
Am I gonna die?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he's super
Sorry.
red. Look at that. Oh, sun just came through. Hey. Oh, it's a pain.
Oh, what the? It almost looks like a thumb. That's weird.
What?
Out. Get your feet out of the way.
It's a weird.
I don't know. Though see his actual neck, it's hard to say what that is. Well, I hope so too. I hope so too, then. Yeah, I know, right? It kinda does. But at the same time, it could also be a birthmark. It's hard to say without seeing the guy's actual neck. We're just seeing a photo on a phone through a camera. We're not seeing the actual back of the guy's neck. So it's really hard to tell.
Weird spot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even feel anything. Like it doesn't feel like anything right now.
No, that's weird.
But,
I guess we'll see if it does start to feel like something.
Turn around again?
So it's burning or something?
I mean,
oh, there we go. I don't know. That's icky. Somebody's got a big mouth. It could be somebody smacked in the back of the head, too. That did that. Yeah, I don't know if it's true, Venom, but I heard like a proper diet, and I'm not even gonna pursue about your weight. I'm not. Because I got a buddy who has gotten really big. He developed diabetes. That his domestic got him on that, what was it? Oh, Ozempic or something to help show his diabetes. He's lost a lot of weight. But I've heard that like with like proper exercise and diet, it can be reversed. Or that type 1, I'm not really sure. I say I'm not an expert on diabetes. I hope it's reversible for you. I really do. I'm not sure sticking yourself with needles every day was no fun.
It's so red.
Ah! Oh, Warcraft. Now I play this a lot sometimes.
I don't know, it doesn't feel like anything. It's weird.
Ghost Hunter Steve is shocked to discover that a large red mark has suddenly appeared on the back of his neck. But he says he doesn't really feel a thing. So the group continues upstairs where the angry...
Well, but that was funny saying it could also be like a contact air tattoo from something in that old abandoned building. Yeah, I hear you there, Venom. My knees are so shot. From when I used to lift weights, I basically overdid it and blew a knee out. So I understand not being good at exercise. It's hard sometimes, especially when you're hurting. But I'm trying to say that if you don't feel anything, right? They're in an old abandoned house. Who knows what kind of chemicals or other substances are in there? It could just be a contact air too also.
Spirit of the Doctor is said to sometimes appear. As they record, they capture something that is downright creepy.
Yeah, it was like a male voice down there. It was like 2 or 3 words.
Doctor! Doctor!
It said doctor.
It just said doctor.
Right after we heard a male voice, it said doctor. Yeah. So the thing is, he says he doesn't like to be called a doctor.
Okay, that little shadow, are they going to say anything about that, or was that them that caused up their flashlights? I just saw a little shadow dot across that doorway.
So we call him a doctor, usually.
What's the doorway?
Is there a doctor down there?
I think we're back far enough.
Yeah.
We go back a little farther here.
Doctor! Doctor! It just said doctor.
Right after we heard a male voice.
Yeah, see that? You see that shadow that ran across there? Could that have been them calling them with their flashlights? Because I don't think they say anything about it, or even noticed it. But that was interesting to look at.
So the thing is, he says he doesn't like to be called a doctor, because he says he was a surgeon. So people call him a doctor and it makes him angry. So we call him a doctor, usually.
Is there a doctor down there? Oh, did you hear that? Yeah. I definitely heard a voice coming from down there.
The group hears a male voice coming from somewhere in the attic. But did you see it? Right after the investigators hear a voice and their obelisk ghost box says the word doctor, a small dark figure can be seen running into the attic.
That's what I was talking about. Nuke did say something about it. My guess they didn't. So, I don't know. It's like, either, to say the same thing about it, either they're trying to hide something, post, editing. Because, if that is something they're trying to hide, there could be another person back there that's talking, right? But I thought that shadow was interesting. It's kind of surprising no one said anything until Nuke pointed it out.
Attic hallway. The ghost hunters don't even notice the odd figure and only see it once they review their footage later. So did they capture the spirit of the old hospital doctor on camera? You decide.
If that's a
You
doctor,
can watch
he's
this
a midget.
entire investigation over on
Sorry,
the
little
YouTube
person.
channel Ghost
Sorry.
Club Paranormal. Caught on camera. Late one night, Claire Mills from Manchester, England gets a notification on her Ring camera that someone is moving around in her front yard. For obvious reasons, Claire is a bit worried, and she immediately checks the camera footage. What she sees sends chills down her spine.
Oh, here we go. What was that?
A strange white mist can be seen quickly darting down the driveway before disappearing completely. Claire has no idea what to make of this bizarre figure and wonders if she might have caught a ghost on camera. We need scary videos.
It can also been just we don't know the bit rate or the, I guess you call it bit rate or frame rate of that camera. So it's hard to say. It could just been like an animal moving right across there. But for this pair like that, it was neat though.
So if you see something scary that you think would be perfect for the top 5, send it to me at nukestop5@gmail.com. Secret Shopper.
Oh,
Security guard Ramirez Rivera is working the night shift on New Year's Eve at a Bodega Herrera store in Torreon, Mexico. The security guard is a little bit bored and records a video complaining about having to work all alone on New Year's Eve. Suddenly, something very strange happens.
Año nuevo, señores. Feliz año nuevo aquí encerrado. Aquí dando el rondín. Jales, jale. Sin llorar. Ay, güey. Hijo de su pinche madre.
Buzz Lightyear went off.
Luego se oyó. Ni pedo, vámonos. Uy.
No, that's just the emotion acted towards thrown off. I don't think that's paranormal.
Chingada. ¿Qué chingas trae ese pinche mo? No manches. No, no se oye con sensor, valiendo madre. Vámonos mejor.
No, who knows?
Uy, güey. Vámonos mejor.
After this creepy occurrence, the security guard is a little...
Right. That is so true, Venom. That is so true. Hi, Silver. Welcome. I'm watching a new top 5 video. I was just watching him play around with a motion activator toy. I think it's motion activated. Nuke doesn't seem to think so, I guess. But, yeah. Yeah, Venom does make a good point on that. Under voltage cause right. So true. The battery's going out and it's misfiring. Yeah.
Little freaked out, but just brushes it off. But then another night at 3:20 in the morning, Rivera thinks he keeps seeing someone walking behind him from the corner of his eye.
I'm always trying to find that one that I can't explain, you know?
A little spooked, he decides to record himself as he walks through the store, hoping to catch a glimpse of any mysterious intruder that might be following him. What happens next is truly bizarre.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas madrugadas. No, bueno, más bien, estoy nervioso, asustado. Siempre traigo mi celular a la mano. Son las 3:20 de la mañana, me tocó aquí guardia nocturno.
Alright, see how he keeps putting his head to one side of the frame? Like he's expecting something to pop up behind him. Almost like he's getting ready to set us up for maybe a jump scare or something.
Bodega Herrera, si se fijan está todo solo. Pero ahorita acabo de ver a alguien allá en la entrada de clientes. Se miró allá por la entrada de clientes, hasta allá hasta atrás. Y...
Hello, this Rob Thunderclaw. Look. Hope you're enjoying the show. We're watching a Nuke's Top 5 video right now. You know, see what I mean? He's got his head on one side. He's got this whole area open. It's like he'd expected something to happen right here. Because that's where you naturally want to focus your attention to. when something like this on these videos happen, right?
No hay nadie. Ya fui a asomarme y no hay nadie. Así lo voy a dejar a ver si pues de pura chingadera se vuelve a ver, ¿no? Y lo vi clarito.
I guess that's partner of not wanting to do it.
Clarito. Ya lo vi otra vez. A ver si se alcanza a ver. No, me da miedo ir. A eso que se mira ahí.
Yeah, there's his partner. Guy dressed in black, way back there. Now, you framed. Right. Because he's not pointing his camera at it, right? He's over here smiling and laughing about it. And, you know, I'm just not buying this one, guys. People always find a reason to explain something, how saying it's weird, unrevolting, without reading the substance. Right, true, Venom, true. And that's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to always find the ones that I can't explain. You know? Something that people can't debunk. You know what I mean? Because no matter how solid the evidence is, somebody's gonna always try to debunk it. That's what I'm doing here, right? I'm talking through what I think might be happening, what debunkers might say it is, right? I personally think I'm not really buying this one because that could be his friend of his back there.
Eso negro que se ve ahí.
I thought I see with a person. It might be a mannequin or something. Oh, no, it's a person. It's a person.
Está caminando, de hecho está que no.
That's definitely a person.
No.
It's probably a customer rolling around the store tonight looking for something. That's probably what it is. If it's a 24-hour store, there's very few people there at night. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is.
No manches. Y se sigue moviendo. Se sigue moviendo. Es una persona, claro está que... Miren. No. Vámonos.
Someone or something can be seen lurking behind the creeped out security guard. Now,
Probably
we
a
cut
stop
to a
boy.
week later, and Rivera is back on another night shift when he spots a little girl aimlessly wandering around outside the supermarket. But before he can approach her, she simply disappears into the night. Given the late hour and the fact that the little girl was all alone, many viewers have speculated that this little girl could have been responsible for the strange occurrences in the store. Some even suggest that she might actually be a ghost.
Right, true.
So now
you always have overnight stalkers and whatnot that fill the shelves back up. Right, now, the thing with kid, always find the part with the kid is always sad, right? Because, you know, that kid could have been there hoping to catch, we don't know. Maybe their mother was in there. Maybe they're waiting for a parent to get off work, right? Or maybe they're looking for a handout or something. We don't know. You know, some people do take their kids to work with them, especially in a place that's not busy like that, where they won't get in trouble, really.
a few months go by and things seem to be back to normal at the store. But then Rivera spots a shopping cart doing something a little weird.
¿Qué tal, amigos?
Hi.
¿Cómo están?
Was she silver? Let me go back and look at that again. Yeah, I see what you mean. I just focus on the way she was moving around, pacing back and forth. But it's also at a distance too, and we don't know exactly the quality of his camera or what kind of phone he's using. Alright, here we go. We'll watch it again. Ready, guys?
Someone or something can be seen lurking behind the creeped
went too
out
far.
security guard.
I'll get the handle of this slider sooner or
we
later.
cut to a week later, and Rivera is back on
Alright, here
another
we
night
go.
shift when he spots a little.
Yeah. It's definitely full-bodied. That's for sure. But We don't know exactly how far away he is either, taking his camera.
Little girl
or
aimlessly
picture,
wandering
video.
around outside the supermarket. But before he can approach her, she simply disappears into the night. Given the late...
Oh, I just noticed too. Do you guys see that? Watch this, right? Watch your head. It's your head up top the whole time. Oh, sorry about that. The whole time she's walking back and forth. Watch this. I thought it was interesting. Doesn't really mean anything, but maybe. Alright. Ready?
Now, we cut to a week later, and Rivera is back on another night shift when he spots a little girl
see how her head's sticking up there,
wandering
right?
around outside the
It
supermarket.
disappears.
But
Like,
before
pops
he
back
can
up
approach
again.
her, she simply disappears
see, her head
into the
disappeared.
night. Given the late hour and the fact that the little girl was all alone, many viewers have speculated that this little girl could have been responsible for the strange occurrences in the store.
True.
Some even suggest that she might actually be a ghost. So now a few months go by and things...
It's hard saying. And this is really hard saying. If it is a little girl, that's sad if it's a ghost, you know, because things like that shouldn't happen to kids. I know bad things happen to everybody, but it's always sad when it's a kid that does.
Seem to be back to normal at the store. But then Rivera spots a shopping cart doing something a little weird.
¿Qué tal, amigos? ¿Cómo están?
Sí, shopping cart.
Oigan, estoy en mi hora de comida, pero no van a creer, amigos. Ahorita escuché que se movió el carrito. No lo vi. Escuché.
Alright. Look at all this stuff right in front of it. Okay? This shopping cart supposedly does something weird, right? But the way he's got everything set up, we can't see what's behind this here. We can kind of see it through the palette. But it's like we're missing a vital piece of information here.
Que ese carrito se movió, amigos. Se escucha ese carrito como si lo hubieran...
Or another person.
Si lo hubiera alguien agarrado. Bueno, no sé, a lo mejor son mis nervios. Miren, hasta, no sé si se fijan, hasta estoy temblando. Pero sí, clarito escuché que lo movieron, amigos. Clarito.
Oh, that was creepy. You hear that voice?
Si yo... Pues no alcancé a grabarlo, obviamente. Pero, mire, no manches, mira. Chéquense. Ustedes me van a decir si soy yo. Son mis nervios, no sé. Pero, mire. No manches. No manches. No manches, amigos. Se movió. El carro se movió.
Well, it moved backwards. But like I said, we can't really see because it's all the way it got it set up is kind of sus. You know, obviously we're not there, right? We don't know exactly if this is real or not. No one that can tell us that is a guy recording. And yes, he is being awfully calm. Usually, if something like that happens, people will freak out about it. Or he might have gotten so used to it if all the stuff was real he's talking about. Like I said, no one that really knows what happened is him. All we can do is speculate. Right. I think so too, Spike.
Estoy seguro. Se movió, amigos.
Oh, wait.
Se movió.
Okay, now we've got up to see the cart now, but we still can't see if there's, like, maybe that little girl from before or whoever that West came from. We don't know if he had an accomplice here that pushed that cart. It's just the way he had us all set up to sus. And if it's real, that's great. You know, I would love for it to be real, but the way this video is being portrayed, I just can't. And there's always something in front of the object or the object going off screen. True, so true. Or let something happen and they turn the camera to themselves so we can't see what's happening. We just hear it. We had one of those videos earlier in this thing.
As the security guard attempts to capture evidence of the shopping cart moving, a soft voice can be heard saying, "Jugamos?" which basically translates in English to, "Want to play?"
Right. So true, Spike, so true. Like I said, we really don't know.
So could it be that the Bodega Herrera...
But the way he's always seemed to be laughing about it, right? It's like he knows he's making fake videos. Cause if it was real, I don't think he'd be laughing and smiling the whole time like he is. I think if it was real, he'd be freaking out about it. But again, we're not there. Want to play? Yeah, right? Oh.
Store in Torreon is haunted by the spirit of a little girl? Or just what is going on here? I leave it up to you to decide.
Alright, that was a new top 5. I said one of the other videos and one I hadn't seen before. Thank you guys for watching with me. We'll give them a like for that video. Right. Alright.